When high performance is needed out of your engine, it is essential that you have a high flow of oil to keep your engine well lubricated. This video is brought to you by my friends at FRAM, and I want to thank them for giving me this filter to change the oil in this 2016 Mustang GT. So like I mentioned, whenever you're expecting high performance out of your engine in sport cars like this Mustang GT, it is very important to have very good oil flow so that keeps your engine well lubricated. The FRAM titanium oil filter has advanced high-flow synthetic technology to produce ultimate engine protection for up to 20,000 miles. The titanium oil filter is engineered with premium synthetic blend media which provides 99% dirt trapping efficiency, allowing peak performance from your engine. And it's this technology that is going to keep your engine protected and performing longer. FRAM has been a trusted name since 1934 and continues to be the go-to brand for the DIYers and the professionals or anyone wanting the best oil filter for the job. So why is an oil filter so important? Its job is to collect all the dirt, all the contaminants, the things that could damage your engine. And this will allow your engine to run much longer without any problems, and with the expensive cars today, that is very important. Alright, well let's go through the steps it takes to change your oil. Okay, so the first thing you want to do before you get started, allow it to cool. You've been driving it, that engine oil can get hot. If you start taking the oil filter and the oil out gets on you, it can burn you. So allow it to cool down before you get started. And you want to follow all the safety precautions. When jacking it up, make sure that you use the recommended locations. For example, on this Mustang, we jacked it up on the frame. And then you can see by these arrows here on the rocker where the pinch welds are. A lot of cars are right here, right in front of the front wheels or right in front of the rear wheels. That's going to be your locations, and that's what we use to use some jack stands. You always want to use jack stands. You always want to chalk your wheels. You want to follow all the safety precautions. Obviously this Mustang, it's too low. We can't just get under it like we did on the Nissan pickup. So we are going to have to lift that up some to get underneath it to change the oil, but you want to do it safely. To get started, you want to get a drain pan, something to drain that old oil into, and then you want to locate the oil pan and place that underneath it so that the old oil will drain into that. And then the drain plug, you want to remove that and then allow the old oil to drain for about 5 minutes. And then once all the old oil is drained, then you can reinstall that. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you clean the drain plug area real good, and then you can reinstall that bolt. Now that you install the drain pan bolt, now you need to access the oil filter. In a lot of cars and trucks, you have to remove some covers to get to it. This one has one cover, has a few 8mm bolts that you have to remove. But you want to remove that, and then you will have access to the oil filter. And then once you have access, you want to remove the old oil filter. And it may take some oil filter pliers or oil filter wrench to help loosen it. And then you can finish removing it by hand. Now you want to make sure that drain plug is under there because some additional oil may spill out whenever you remove this. Once removed, you want to make sure that you clean the oil filter location real good. Make sure it's nice and clean for whenever you go to put the new oil filter back on, it'll make a good seal. Now you want to get the new oil filter and put some new oil on it so that you can lubricate that gasket, and that will help you make sure that you install it right and lubricate the gasket so that it goes on tight. And you really just need to do this by hand tight. And the good thing about this oil filter is it has total grip surface, meaning that the entire filter has something that you can grip and tighten it by hand. And normally you can tighten this by hand, and that is good enough. And I'm using a towel to make sure you clean all the old oil so that you can get it good and tight. And once you have that on good and tight, now you can reinstall the cover, get that back on, and now we can start adding the oil. And I have Erica here. This is her car, and we are going to add the oil. And of course you want to look up the recommended oil type and the amount of oil that you need to add. And remember, this oil filter is designed for full synthetic oil, to get your 20,000 miles of protection to your engine. And then you want to check it with your dipstick and make sure it's in between the two indication marks. Then once you have all that complete, of course you want to let the car idle for about 5 minutes and inspect it for leaks. Make sure nothing's leaking around the oil filter or the drain plug locations. So if you expect high performance out of your car, you need good oil flow to keep the engine well lubricated. And the FRAM titanium is the go-to oil filter. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure and give us a thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you in the next video.